So I'm just going to go through what happens on results day, and universities are pretty good at results day. We do it every year, but we understand for the people who have kind of applied, results day is new every year. They're getting involved. So I'm going to go through some different options depending on kind of how things go on the day. So the universities do get your results before you do, and it's important to know that because universities will start making decisions before you get your results about whether or not they're able to offer you a place for that year. You won't see your results in UCAS Track, but you may see that you've been offered a place. So it might be that your firm choice university needs, say, 3 B grades, and you might actually be offered a place, but your results might actually be BBC, and the university have still chosen to take you. So it's important that even though you've looked at UCAS Track on the morning of results day, you actually still get your email, log on to your virtual learning platform, however it is you're getting your results this year, and just make sure that you know what your results look like. Don't just assume because you've been offered a place or you've got an offer and your UCAS Track has kind of ticked through in the morning that you've got what you possibly needed. What we do find is UCAS Track gets really busy. There's kind of folklore and myth about when it transfers. UCAS say 8 a.m. I know students who will be logging in at midnight, at 2 a.m, at 4 a.m. So sometimes it does tick over a little bit earlier. So you can have a look and see what it looks like. Obviously at 4 a.m, most universities, schools and colleges aren't open to give you support. So it might be you've looked at 4 a.m. and been awake all night, but that doesn't necessarily help you out. So don't worry, get up and look at it early in the morning, and you don't need to be checking it all night. This year is a bit different, and we understand that people's grades have been affected. Universities have been working hard with exam boards to understand calculated grades. We know that for some courses there's still going to be good competition. The biggest difference this year is that for those people applying, you won't be able to get a remark. So that is slightly different, and what that does mean is if you are going to resit your exams, maybe in November, which I think is when they're due to happen, you're probably going to be too late to start this autumn. So depending on the results, the calculated grades that you achieve might have an impact on whether or not you choose to take the risk and kind of go to university this year, or whether if you're choosing to resit, that's obviously going to take kind of the full academic year perhaps until you're then able to restart. The great thing is the UCAS system allows you to kind of really explore your options, which just gives you lots of choices once the day's there. So hopefully, if you've got everything you need, great. Your place will be secure. Universities will often contact you then with accommodation details. They will get in touch with you about timetables. Once you've got your confirmed place, you can open your student bank account. So all of those things can happen if you've got the results you need from that point. If you decide you want to make a change, so you've got your results, but you're having a change of heart, if you want to change your university or your course, it's really important perhaps to contact those individually. So if you want to change your course, but you want to stay at the same university, you need to contact them individually. Drop them an email to their admissions. You can call them, but what I would generally advise is admissions teams often ask for it in writing anyway. So it's important to drop them an email, and that will get that process started. If you want to change your university, you can use adjustments or you can release into clearing to be able to do that. So if your results are slightly unexpected, maybe you've done better than you thought, you can use adjustment. And that might mean that you are then looking for universities with higher entry grades than you had anticipated. If you've not met your conditional offer and your place has been unsuccessful, then you will straight away, without you having to do anything, go into clearing. And you can then use clearing to get an alternative university place. Lots of students perhaps apply, and I know last year and this year, more students are applying quite late to university in the first place and going straight into clearing. So it's not necessarily just for those people who've been unsuccessful. The process is used by lots of people who've perhaps just changed their mind about what they want to do that September. So clearing is happening in 2 different ways this year. UCAS have brought out something called Clearing Plus. And what this does, it uses sort of an algorithm to match courses that are linked to courses you have already shown an interest in. UCAS know your results, so on that list they'll be showing you universities that you should be able to enter with the grades that you've achieved. What happens is you can see your selected choices or your clearing options when you log into Track. So they'll come up on a big list, and you will be able to then go through and select which that you think are going to be kind of most relevant for you. So there is kind of a I'm interested tick box, and you can tell a university that you're interested. You can also search manually, and I'll go into this in a bit more detail in a second, and just see what the vacancies are that are available. What you'll notice on there is some of them have got little logos next to, some of the information might be different. Your list might be different to your friend's list based on the information you've given. So if you applied for history degrees, but you've now decided you wanted to do English, you'll notice your list will probably be populated with English history-based courses, because that's what you applied to before. So although Clearing Plus might be useful for some students, it might be that you need to actually do a completely new search if you've changed your idea about what it is you want to possibly study. When you've ticked the I'm interested box, universities ideally will get in touch with you to talk about that. What I would say is that dependent on the university, they're under no obligation to respond, apparently, I found out the other day. So they don't have to respond to that, and also it might take some time. So if you've got your list, what lots of advice services are still suggesting is use Clearing Plus, but actually if they come up on your list and you've got the opportunity to call them, you might find you get a quicker response by ringing the university directly rather than just waiting for your Clearing Plus place. So when you do a course search, you have to select that you want the courses in clearing. For those students who are looking to apply for 2021, you can search for the following academic year. So it's important to make sure you're looking for those in clearing. And when you do your search, it will come up and just remind you you're looking for places in clearing. The courses come up in the same way as when you did a search back before you applied, and you can see all the courses that are open. This does change as we go through clearing. So clearing is already opened on the 6th of July. And what we find is the course lists do change as we get closer to results day. So you can start looking now, but you can also actually then look the day before results day to get a sense of actually what's available and what's on offer. Once you've kind of found a few places you like, you might contact universities and call them to see if they can offer you a place. They'll offer you a verbal place and usually then send you a kind of a confirmation email with those details in. You can collect as many offers as you like. You could ring 30 universities on results day morning if you want to, but you can't put any of those offers in till 3 o'clock on that day. So you have a little bit of time on results day to collect some options and then decide what it is you want to do. What happens is clearing is open for sort of 2 or 3 weeks really after results day, quite a long way into September. But the offer that you get from a university verbally usually only lasts for a few days. So for example, if you rang Winchester on results day, I think we give you about a week, so until like midnight on the following Wednesday, for you to have put that as one of your clearing option. So you have a little bit of time to decide, and as the others speakers have already spoken about today, do that research, work out if the university is for you after results day. During clearing, like I've mentioned, the courses are changing all the time. You can hold kind of several offers and then you select which one of those you want to put into UCAS. What we do find, and increasingly, students are using UCAS really cleverly to get themselves a good place. So nearly 30,000 students used it last year. Lots were successful, and quite a few students will use it to go to one of those kind of other 4 options that they had applied to in the beginning on their UCAS form to try and find themselves a place. So about 50% of students are still going to universities that they chose as one of their top 5 when they originally applied. If you've got a change of plan and you were thinking of going, but maybe you've changed your mind, you can withdraw. You can defer your place, or you can choose to bring a deferred place forward. To do the second 2 of those things, so to defer your place or to start that in that particular year, you need to contact the universities individually. Some courses will let you defer, some universities will let you defer. It depends on the course and what you're applying for, and also what you're applying with. So if you've met the grades for this year and you want to go, what you might find is that a university is very happy to let you defer. if you've missed your grades to get in, but the university have taken the circumstances of this year into consideration and said, okay, well, you haven't quite got the grade, but we're willing to take a risk and take you. If you then want to defer that place, a university may be slightly less flexible to do that, because ultimately you haven't necessarily quite met the grades and they're giving you kind of the grace for this academic year to accept your place, but they wouldn't necessarily let you defer. So it's really important you contact individual universities, and they will each have a different kind of way that they are managing that this year. How to prepare. It's like I've said, it's important to do some research. You can do that now. Clearing is open. It never fails to amaze me how many people ring on clearing day, on results day, on their phone, and all their UCAS number, their ID number is all on their mobile phone. So use a pen and paper, write stuff down. The person you're going to be speaking to on the phone is likely to give you details that you might need to write down. Make sure your phone is charged, you've got data, you've got a good internet connection to be able to do that search. Have your personal information ready. Sometimes universities will ask for GCSE results. They will ask for your results that you've had from school or college. So it's important to make sure you've got all that to hand before you start. And every year, schools and colleges have people there to support you. This year might be a bit different, so make sure you check. If you think you're going to need some help, how do you get hold of your head of sixth form? Are you still going in person, or is there a best number for you to ring for your school? So make sure you check that before you get there, so you can get some advice on the day from them as well. Okay. And finally, deciding if it's for you. So results day can feel a bit of a whirlwind. You're pretty busy, kind of maybe ringing around or deciding if it's definitely what you want to do. What you can do is, lots of universities, I think, are still looking at possibly putting small tours in place after results day, where you can come around in small groups to have a look at a university if you've not been able to do that already. You can certainly have a look and use things like UniBuddy and Ask a Student to find out a bit more about what it's like to be a student there. So some of that you might do now before you get your results, or it might be you're doing that kind of once results day comes. Obviously, everything's gone online. Lots of universities are putting things out there virtually. So that's a really good way of being able to kind of connect with them, see what's going on, so that when you get to results day, it's not as stressful, but also actually that you're prepared. And no matter what your results are, you're kind of ready to take the opportunities that are there and use this UCAS system kind of to your advantage. Okay, fantastic.